You're listening to the Purdy Girl Podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Kelly Purdy. My mission is to connect military spouses, fiancés, girlfriends, and booty calls worldwide. So let's do this. Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to Purdy Girl Podcast. I was thinking of doing a little check-in today to see how we're all doing with our New Year's resolutions. And I know what a lot of you are thinking, screw this year, screw this entire year. I'll start over in 2021. Bye. And I don't blame you. This year has been intense, to say the least. But I don't think that means we have to totally throw in the towel, right? Why not start over right now? In a previous podcast, I talked about having a shitty morning and deciding that at 2 o'clock, you can pour yourself a cup of coffee and start your day over. What if we adopted that same mindset for this year? What if we decided this month we were going to start over and finish the last 6 months strong? Every June, I like to have a little sit down with myself and review my New Year's resolutions just to see how I'm doing and if I need to make any tweaks or adjustments. So I figured I could go through that with you today to maybe give you some ideas or motivate you to do the same. Or maybe you forgot what your resolutions were and you could just simply make some new ones right freaking now and focus on the next 6 months. I mean, why wait for January? You know what I mean? Honestly, I feel like when people always wait for the new year or wait for the new month or wait for Monday, like you're just going to be waiting your whole life. You're never going to do the thing. If you can't start right freaking now, you're never going to start. But that's just an Ashley Kelly opinion for you. So, while I go through these goals with you, I want you to be thinking about your own goals and what tweaks and adjustments you'd like to make for yourself. These kind of podcasts really help me to have clarity, even the ones where I'm listening to others talk about their goals. So I hope this helps you too. So the first goal that I had was read 1 to 2 books a month. Yes, I have kept up on this. Lately, 1 to 2 books feels just right for me, and I have been able to keep up on it. Sometimes there's a part of me that's like, well, Ash, you're able to keep up on this, so shouldn't you challenge yourself and maybe read, 3 to 4 books a month? I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me to up the number right now. I like just having this as a regular goal that I keep up on. I will say, as many of you already know, I have 2 books that are nonfiction that I like to read in the mornings, usually something that motivates me or really makes me think. I usually don't spend too much time reading them in the morning. It's like maybe a page or 2, nothing crazy. Then I have a book that I'll listen to on Audible. Those I tend to really cruise through because you can speed up the narrator, which I'm all about. Some months I will listen to 2 or more books. By the way, if you haven't started the book club book yet for this month, it is Untamed by Glennon Doyle, and it is pretty dang good. I've already finished it, and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. And if you're in the Pretty Girl Facebook group, let me know how you're liking it so far. My husband said something interesting the other day, though, about listening to books. He says he feels like he's cheating when he listens to books on Audible rather than reading them. And I understand why you'd say that or think that, but I don't think it's cheating. To me, reading is about learning, exploring, and expanding. So if listening is better for you, then I say it's a-okay. No one's going to judge you. Especially if you're like a mom and you really want to read, but you just don't have time, or you have a demanding career and the only time you have to read is like maybe in your car during your commute. I don't know. I think listening to a book is a great option. No need to feel guilty about it. Like, that's a weird thing to feel guilty about. I don't know about you, but there are way too many other things in the world that could make me feel guilty. Or I shouldn't say make me feel guilty, cause me to feel guilt. And listening to a book is just not going to be another thing on my guilt list. Okay? So The next resolution I wrote down is to fuel my body properly and to eat mindfully and intuitively. I know this sounds super vague as a goal, and well, that's because it is. I have totally stepped away from really specific goals when it comes to food and exercise right now. And that's because of A, my past with disordered eating, and B, during pregnancy, I really just want to have zero stress when it comes to food and exercise and to fully lean into trusting myself. So far, I will say this has been going really well. I don't really know how or why, but I have experienced less food guilt in the last 6 months than I have in my entire life. I have had zero restrictions, which has been really great for me because I know if I want to have some Chick-fil-A, I totally can. You know, when you restrict things and then it's just all you can think about? When I allow myself all of the things, my body still craves the fruit and the vegetables and the salmon and the eggs and the spinach. But don't get me wrong, like I still totally just ate cookie dough the other night for dinner. So there's that. But I was shocked to have zero guilt about that. It doesn't happen often. Like I think I've done cookie dough for dinner maybe one other time during pregnancy. I hope, honestly, I really hope that this non-food guilt continues after pregnancy. I already know that postpartum journey is going to be a whole other ball game. And, we will just tackle that when it comes. But for now, I plan to continue to listen to my body and eat intuitively because I'm just really digging that right now. The next goal I had was to start interviews with the podcast. Done and done. By the way, if you would like to come on and talk about your story, or if you have an idea or topic that you want to talk with me about, just let me know. I would love to have more guests on here. So, just slide into my DMs on the old Instagram or message me on Facebook. But honestly, I will probably respond faster through my DMs on Instagram. Okay, so the next little goal that I had was meetups for book clubs monthly. And well, that's been paused because of the thing that we like to call COVID-19. But I'm hoping to get that back up and running maybe next month. We'll see. Our next little goal was to have $85,000 saved for our future home by the end of the year. So listen, so far, we aren't doing great. We have about half of that right now, and we're at a little bit of a standstill just because of my job loss and baby shit that we keep buying. But that is what these reflections are for, to reassess, to reevaluate. So, thankfully, we are staying on top of our budget and we're not going into a deficit, but also not really saving. So, realistically, we might be able to get up to 57,000 saved by the end of the year. Now, would I count this as a failure? No way, no freaking way. COVID rocked all of us and our finances. I'm pretty sure most people are needing to reassess their financial goals right now, okay? So, not a failure. You just got to readjust and move forward. The last resolution I have is to settle into motherhood and my new lifestyle come August through December. But really, that's kind of just, it's all starting right now. I plan to be patient and gentle with myself during this transition. One thing I'm nervous about, though, is how tired everyone says I'm going to be. I don't do tired well. I don't even know the last time I was tired and I wasn't able to immediately just go and take a nap and solve the issue. So that's going to be a major transition for me. Thankfully, B will be home with me for a month, and I also have some family coming out to stay. So, we'll be good, but also check in on me come September, October, because mama's going to be riding solo. So, moving on. Yesterday, I did a poll on the old gram to see where y'all were in terms of goals setting and your resolutions. I did this because when I had this idea for the podcast, I thought I was going to come off as super annoying, like F off, Ashley, with your goals right now. We are just trying to survive 2020. I'd say there are a good amount of you that think that. And also, there's a good amount of you that have also found some other goals to focus on during the time you couldn't go rock climbing or you couldn't go to the gym. I definitely received a medley of responses. Some reasons people said that they weren't able to stick to their resolutions this year were time management. A couple people said postpartum anxiety, which, hi, if you're listening, I'm going to need all the tips and tricks for if I feel that in a few months. Drinking too much, mental health has been suffering. And then the major reason, I'm sure you can guess, has been the pandemic as to why people haven't been able to stick to their goals. And honestly, I feel like the pandemic just coincides with people struggling with their mental health. I know it definitely has affected me for sure. So I also asked you guys if you were willing to recommit for the next 6 months, and 90% of you said yes. You 10%ers out there, you can wait till January 2021 and I'll catch you on the flip side. So anyway, I am wanting to recommit. So my objective here for today is to get your wheels spinning and really inspire you to sit down today, have a glass of wine or coffee or whatever bevy choice your little heart desires, and write out your goals or rewrite your goals. We are living in a totally different world today than we were back in January. So write your goals out, commit to the next 6 months, and let's move forward with this. I believe goal setting and really making progress, no matter how small, is the best and fastest way to gain confidence in yourself. Maybe some things aren't open in your area yet. Like, I get it. Okay. So what are some goals that you could focus on? Even if it's just a distraction from the fact that your rock climbing gym is still closed. Reevaluate, reassess, and recommit. We have to, like, we freaking have to. We just cannot allow 2020 to knock us down without even a fight back. We got to fight back. We have to. There's still half of a year left and we can make it better. There's no way things can get worse. There's no way things are going to get worse. The only place to go is up from here, but the choice is yours. Don't just wait for the new year. Recommit right freaking now. Even if it's something small. We cannot just give up on ourselves. So yes, our goals might look a little different now compared to January, but that's okay. That's not a failure. That's just part of the freaking process. And that is how goal setting works. You don't just give up on a goal. You reevaluate and you recommit. So I want to know what you're going to recommit to, no matter how small it is. I don't care. Send me a picture of your goals. Write them down. Send me a picture. Your new June to December goals. Okay. How are you going to make yourself proud for the rest of the year and show 2020 that you ain't no bitch, okay? That you're still going to come out on top. This is you being in control. This is you controlling your life. You can choose to show up and you can choose to recommit to yourself. Recommit to your freaking future. You deserve it. You deserve it. Yes, we've all had a shitty last 6 couple months, to say the least, okay? Let's rebuild from here. Let's rebuild our health, rebuild our fitness, rebuild our self-care, our relationships, our freaking life. Every time I say freaking, you know what I really want to say, but I'm trying to keep it PG-13. Joan, I know you're listening. Hi, I love you. Thanks for listening. I'm trying to stay away from the F words because I'm fired up, you guys. Listen, you are a mother fudging phoenix rising from the ashes, okay? So get to work and make yourself proud. Thank you for listening to Pretty Girl Podcast. If you have a second, please rate and review and share this podcast with somebody you think would love it. See you next week.